Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Raw. The main event, as well as the entire show, has been brought to you by THQ, and the last match was pretty good. Very, very good, and it was intense, and it came down to the wire, but Doom was able to pull it out, although the Road Warriors would end up attacking Undertaker and Kane, and it goes back to last season. I don't know why, but they did. So you have Sonic of the Trailblazers, and then you have this man. Well, there's Joseph Kony, who's slated to fight, and wait, what's he doing? What is he doing? Oh wait, that's the Prophet. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that? Wow, Joseph Kony. Okay, he was slated to fight Sonic tonight, and we were going to see if Sonic and, Joseph Kony would settle things. But no, what does he do? Instead, he brings out his leader, the Prophet. I mean, I admire the fact that the Prophet wants to fight and all that, and this is supposed to be Joseph Kony. Man, what the hell? I mean, Joseph Kony just proven once again he's nothing more than a little bitch. And the fact that, he decided to bitch out of this match and put in someone who's a much more bigger bitch than him, if you can even believe that, and that's the Prophet. Oh man, but you know what? Fine. You know what? If the Prophet wants to get his butt kicked, so be it. Anyway, match underway as we have Sonic and the Prophet. I didn't think we were gonna ever see this match, but I guess. But anyway, we'll go with this. And now Sonic just pulling on the leg strings, or the hamstrings rather, of the Prophet. Now, for those of you who don't know much about the Prophet, this is a guy that, okay, it goes all the way back to 1980. Okay, at the time I was 20 years old. I had already wrestled 2 years prior in the juniors division. I started wrestling in 1978 at the age of 18, and at the time the Prophet was only 22 years old. So just imagine him right now. Okay, so just imagine him like a couple of years ago, 20 years ago rather. Yeah, just picture him 20 years ago with more hair and less hair on his face. That should tell you how long ago it really was. But what happened was, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll definitely tell you something that might not be true, or maybe it was, I don't know. But the thing is, one time I was laughing at a joke that my friend was telling me, and it just so happened that the Prophet was doing an interview, and supposedly he thought that I was laughing at him, when in fact I was really laughing at a joke that my friend was telling me about. And what happened next was that he confronts me and he says, "Are you laughing at me?" And I said, "No, I'm just laughing at a joke that my friend did." "Well, it sounds to me that you were laughing at me. But remember this, you will never laugh at me again." I was like, okay man, whatever. So I turn around for 1 second. And what does he do? He attacks me from behind, he jumps me from behind, and I end up getting busted open for the first time in my life. It's just the sight of my own blood at that time, just... I didn't know whether to be scared, or I didn't know whether to be shocked or just mad. It was all three of those things going in my head all at once, and that's pretty much how this whole thing between myself and the Prophet started. I mean, and then for the next, 6 years, we would be at each other's throats for the next 6 years. So for the better part of the 80s, I mean, I was fighting this guy. I was fighting this man, and the thing about, every year, every show, he would come up with something different. He would try to find different ways of trying to put me out. And as much as he tried, he couldn't do it. I mean, yeah, he got the better of me a couple of times. No doubt. I mean, he did beat me up a couple of times. And he did beat me fair and square a few times. But for the most part, he couldn't get the job done. And then, June 16th, 1986. I'll never forget it. Because that was the day that I challenged him to a loser leaves the company match. Knowing full well that, if I lost, the ownership of my family would die with my father if I was to have lost. But knowing what was at stake, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And I didn't give up the way the Prophet just did. Yeah. I'll tell you more about that story later on, but... Yes, good way to go, Sonic. I'll tell you one thing, Sonic knows how to make me smile, especially making my former enemy tap out. Well, actually, he still kind of is my enemy a little bit, but still, I'm very happy about this. Yes, I'm very, very happy about it. You know why? Because, that's exactly what the Prophet gets. I mean, he stuck his nose where it didn't belong, and Sonic made him pay for it. And I'll tell you one thing, as far as Joseph Kony is concerned, yeah, that little stunt that he pulled backfired on him. Well, I'll tell you what, Joseph Kony, the next time you try to pull a stunt like that, I'll make sure you never do again. And as for the Prophet, well, he got what he deserved, and then some. But for Sonic, he gets a big win, especially competing in his second match. In fact, the first match he competed in about 4 minutes. So he wasn't all that hurt. So he had more than ample time to, recover from that first match that he competed in. But I was really surprised that Sonic was able to make the leader of Doom tap out just like the little bitch he is. And I'm sorry for using this vulgar language, but you know what? That's exactly what he is, okay? He's nothing more than a coward. Well, actually, he's not a coward, but he tapped out, so, but besides, I'm happy about this, so, why should I be mad about it, other than the fact that Joseph Kony should have been in this match to begin with, but, whatever. Anyway, until next time, this is Henry Jacobson, signing off, saying goodbye, and stay tuned for the next Raw, stay tuned for the next show, whatever it is. Until then, have a nice day.